Hello, Chocolatiers. Welcome back to another video. And today I just want to review The Strangers Chapter 1. This movie is kind of weird for me because it's one of those films that isn't like, a Night Swim where I just think it's like a piece of complete garbage, but it's still not that good. And so I kind of want to give my opinions on that. So overall, I guess we'll start with the good first. I actually think the two main characters are okay. They're not necessarily likable, but their acting's believable. Um, I like this kind of world that they're setting up where there's like a potential in the future, I guess, with 2 and 3, that the town has something to do with it. Maybe has something to do with the church. I like stuff like that, right? I'm liking the lore deep dives, crap like that. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the only positives I have about this movie. Everything else is pretty negative. So, let's go and get into that. So, for starters, this movie, I know the Strangers movies don't really have kills, but I do want to go on this. I feel like the violence is very toned down because any kills or violence they do show, it's not necessarily off screen, but it's just not. I don't really know how to explain this, but it's almost like if they had the green light to show, for example, like a violent scene in like a PG-13 movie, and it's kind of like that. So like outside of curse words, I feel like this movie could have actually been PG-13. And my biggest complaint with this movie is that it feels like the original Strangers movie from 2008, which I'm a fan of. I'm not the biggest fan of, so it's not like this is like my ride or die or something like that, so I'm not completely mad at this movie for doing that. But at the same time, it's basically like a CW version of it. And so to get into that, you have so many characters that just do stupid things, and like they did stupid things in the original too, but like you will have characters that have the strangers pinned down, and like they're just like, let's not kill them. Why? Okay. You also have weird things with the strangers, like they run away at times, like, and it's weird because I'm comparing this to the other movies because from what I got from the strangers is that yes, they hide in the shadows, yes, they lurk, but like in this movie, they just want you to be. It's just in your face. Like they can't do anything clever or smart. So like in the original, like there's like the scene of like the man in mask being in the house behind homegirl, and it's like really creepy because like you see him and like you're gasping, you're freaking out, you're like, oh my god, what's happening? But the whole time she doesn't know. And so in this movie, whenever they have scenes like that, I think they have one or two scenes like that are okay. But the other times that they're like in the background, like especially like in like the first 40 minutes or so, um, like stalking or whatever, they play like this high pitched music that really got on my nerves because not necessarily because it was high pitched, but because it's one of those things where it's like, oh, audience, you're stupid. You're stupid, audience. You're dumb. You're dumb. You don't know. You don't even know he's back there. You can't see. Like, I don't like that. That was pissed me off. And back to the strangers not acting like themselves. Like, I feel like instead of them being like sneaky and clever, they were. It's weird because I don't want to necessarily say they're like amateurs because the big thing with this is I'm pretty sure even though they're kind of doing the plot of the original, is that this is supposed to be like a reboot prequel. So like this is taking place before. I guess like this is how they became the strangers or whatever. But it's weird because don't tell me that in the trailer, but then don't give me any kind of backstories. Like this is the same movie outside of a few changes, and that's it. Because like they're talking the lore crap and stuff. I guess they'll get into that in the sequels. They don't get into any of that. They don't give you any kind of backgrounds of the characters outside of the fact that the main girl does not want to marry the main guy, and the main guy kind of gets heat for that because he kind of wants to marry her, and that's pretty much it. There's a potential of like him maybe moving with her if she gets this job in Portland, Oregon, and that's where they're headed. And basically, their car breaks down, and that's what I mean by the town could potentially be up with it. But it's all these potentials. Like they don't give you any actual hints, and they don't give you any actual clues. This is more just speculation, just because I was getting bored in the film. Because the main character actually states at the beginning that it's like a scheme because it's just kind of weird that you've already had somebody go missing and then their vehicle messes up when they eat in this diner, which the guy ate at the same time, and like they keep saying this place. So it's pretty evident that it's the town, but it's still one of those things where if you're gonna do changes and liberties to the story, at least make them good. Like, I'm bored, dude. I'm sitting over here just, I don't know whose choices it was. They gave like the main dude asthma, and so I was okay, this is good, okay, because now he's gonna have to be trying to get his inhaler. He's gonna try this and like they do some cool stuff with that, like one time pretty much, and the other time is just an excuse for him to leave the town so they can leave homegirl from Riverdale by herself, so that way she can get stalked. And I don't know, like it's just this movie is one of those movies where, you know how you hear a lot of people say it didn't even be made, and then everybody's like, because like me, I disagree with that statement. I think technically nobody asked for any movie to be made until it was made. Like, nobody asked for Alien to be made, and it was made, and it's a 10, you know? And so I'm fine with changes and liberties to come out, but this is starting to remind me of like the new Halloween trilogy, except in the case of I really like the first one, but I just really feel like this is like a movie that was for sure a cash grab, which is why they did all three like that. It's already made its money back. It only cost something $8 million. I think it's all, or no, $6 million. I think they already made 8 or 10 or whatever. My theater was fucking packed. This is just one of those movies where a whole lot of nothing happens, and anytime something does happen, it's a fucking letdown. The ending is awful. No shit, like a TV show, it says to be continued. I swear to God, I about literally laughed. Because it just felt so CW-esque. And, like, that's not a bad thing. Like, I like CW shows like Supernatural, I love, you know, stuff like that. But it was just like, it was like watching, like, Crisis on Infinite Earths with The Flash with the way it ended. Like, it was like, to be continued on next week's. Like, okay, I know it's going to be continued. It's called Chapter 1, motherfucker. I don't understand. I don't understand. The fonts were weird. Like, bro, I could complain about this movie all day. But outside of all the complaints, though, I do think that there is potential. So I will be seeing 2 and 3. I'm just hoping that it just kind of scares me, though, because they've already filmed these movies. So it's not like they can take feedback off this shit and be like, let's fix these things. No, they're already made. They might tweak and change 3, but 2 is for sure done. I think that bitch comes out in September, October. So that's done. So if they all kind of are like this, we're in for a fucking treat. 3 pieces of shit. I hope I'm wrong. Because this movie kind of sets up something that I'm like, I'm okay with that. I'm alright with that. But yeah, with that, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts if you've seen The Strangers Chapter 1. I don't think it's like a huge piece of shit, because once again, this franchise as a whole I'm just kind of okay with. I do like Prey at Night. But like I said, the original I think is good for the time. But it's just one of those movies that once you kind of know what happens and shit, it's hard to rewatch. Like, I don't know if that's just a me problem. Like, I could rewatch Halloween because, like, I love watching Michael do his thing and this and that. But, like, the Man in the Masked Dollface and all them jokers, like, watching people stalk and, like, just sneaking around. I already know what's going to happen. I already know how it's going to end. So it's kind of hard for me to be like, yeah, let's rewatch that. Like, I don't know. Like, it's like one of those, I might put it on for Halloween, but, like, I'd rather put on Prey at Night because I think it's a little bit more fun. Love the pool scene in that. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, we didn't get anything cool like that. Like, I wish it would have took the premise of the original with, like, the aesthetic of the original, because the original is very creepy. And I wish that they would have taken, like, the soundtrack and, like, the kills and violence and stuff from Prey at Night. Just mix them together, and they fucking did not do that. They were like, let's just take some of the original stuff, like the plot, and let's just do our own shit that's not good. But yeah. Like and subscribe. More. I'll catch you guys on the next one.